Natalie Harp's college experience changes everything. Where Natalie Harp went to college and what Natalie Harp did when she was in college explains a lot. When a woman with a fully formed prefrontal cortex is rumored to be the president's diaper caddy, the woman wiping his ass, sleeping in his locker room to be close to him, which is something we reported back in May. She's also now, we're seeing the romance novels that she's quoting in letters to him. We got to ask some serious questions here. What went wrong? Because there's a lot of deeply weird shit happening around this woman, and we needed answers. She was also, unsurprisingly, homeschooled by her mother in California. It's kind of red flag number one. So we wanted to look a little bit deeper to understand, how do you arrive at this current level of unhinged? So where did she go from being homeschooled? I, for one, believe that college is such a formative time in your life. I am a proud graduate of the University of Tampa, shout out, and later went on to study Cornell when a job was paying for it. But those years were really character building. I really found out who I was, what I wanted to do with my life. So with Natalie Harp being homeschooled and then going to college, what's up with her past? What is this bizarre experience? Who was she in college? And what does that tell us about who she is now? Whole lot. That's where things really went sideways, if you ask me, because this all changes everything. Turns out, you don't end up being a human printer chasing a man in a diaper on a golf course if your formative years weren't just like a little bit fucked up. So, and I'm going to show you everything about Natalie's college experience. You're going to hear it here first. And real quick, if you're new here, I'm Lauren Paritra. Willa Paritra and I, we do this every single day out of pure principle and an absolute refusal to let Katie Miller ever catch up. So when we first started this, we were playing chicken with Katie Miller, trying to beat her in subscriber count. Now we proudly have more subscribers than Katie Miller and Riley Gaines combined. But we cannot maintain that lead and keep these bitches humble without you. So make sure you follow us wherever you get your podcast, follow us on social. Hype if you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment, 6 words or more, and stay safe from those crazy bitches. A quick detour before we get into Natalie Harp's college experience. I had to go through the Trump files. And I was like, where did the 2 drunkest people in the administration, where did they go to school? Well, Kash Patel, drunkie number 1, studied at University of Richmond, spiders, and then got his law degree from Pace, where when he was at Pace, that's when he got caught whizzing in public and got cited for it. Studied international law at UCL. He was a public defender, like my friend Eliza Orlins, but probably terrible at it. And that's where he linked up with Devin Nunes, and the whole Russian investigation went down. And now he runs the FBI, unfortunately. Pete Kegsbreath, I also wanted to know, probably tied for drunkest people in the administration. He went to Princeton. So Princeton and Harvard's Kennedy School, served in the military, then went on to Fox News and somehow became the defense secretary, or as he rebranded, Secretary of War. Poor Jersey. I'm sorry that he had to spend time there. Natalie Harp, however, she had a different type of education. Going from homeschooled in California, she went the evangelical route and became really politically engaged and involved around Trump, and then went full skirt into conservative media, and now we know what she does. So this is where her college history gets really interesting. One very interesting thing came from this tweet. So they wrote, "Meet Maggot and Bunny Boiler Natalie Harp, Trump's literal iPad wrangler, whose isolated upbringing completely explains her devotion to conservative white nationalism. She was homeschooled in California to keep her safely insulated from the real world before heading off to Point Loma Nazarene University major echo chambers. She then capped off her education with an MBA from Liberty University, the ultimate training ground for converting evangelical dogma into political grifting. When your entire schooling consists of private religious bubbles and zero public diversity, wrapping yourself in a MAGA flag is a predictable final exam." So Natalie Harp's educational path included her time being homeschooled, her degrees from Point Loma and Liberty University, providing the foundation for her subsequent career in conservative media and politics and diaper caddying. That last part was me. So I admittedly, I'm bad at TV and movies. Bunny Boiler, had to look it up. I saw Jennifer say it on I Had It podcast. I saw it come up on Twitter. It's a slang term. If you're maybe not familiar, if you are, you can make fun of me in the comments. It's a slang term for an emotionally unstable person, most often a woman who reacts to a breakup or romantic rejection with an obsessive, vengeful, or dangerous behavior. Okay, got a strong visual now. So what is Liberty University?
She went to Liberty University. I learned that. Liberty University is in Virginia, and it was originally founded by Jerry Falwell. Yeah. And then Jerry Falwell's son took it over, and then he had to quit in 2020. And this is also the same university where you can't hold hands because it's so religious. This girl is the most indoctrinated evangelical on the planet. Like, there's going to be... She was raised to believe that a man like Donald Trump is what men should be. And that is terrifying because she believes it. Like, it's not pretend. This is her existence. And I can't imagine someone living on a more different planet.
I had to dig in on the comments here. Jerry Falwell's son, who took over Liberty, it was his wife who hired the Latino pool boy in Florida, and her husband was paying the pool boy to have sex with his wife. It was also twisted. And then people are writing, of course she did. Christianity and MAGA are completely irreconcilable. That explains a lot. Not completely, but a lot. Her education level is perfect for changing his diapers and powdering his putrid pee-pee. That says it all. Explains so much. Just like the rest of people who work for him. Makes sense that she would be Trump's biggest sycophant. I am disappointed that the cancer didn't finish the job. Ugh. And today's episode is brought to you by Quince. You know that feeling when summer starts to wind down and you can actually breathe for a second? That's August for me. I actually have time to think about things like, do I actually need a 17 white tank tops or t-shirts? Spoiler alert, I don't. But what I do need is the right pieces. Pieces that work harder than I do. And that's exactly what I found with Quince. Quince isn't about quantity, it's about quality. They specialize in those effortless, high quality essentials that actually make getting dressed every day easier. We're talking about ultra soft organic cotton basics, premium cashmere sweaters that actually feel like a hug, and everything is so beautifully tailored that it actually fits your body. So these pieces transition seamlessly from morning streams, morning meetings, or anything straight through to dinner without you having to think about it. And here's the thing that really got me. Everything at Quince costs 50 to 80% less than similar brands. How? Because they work directly with ethical factories and skip all the middleman markup. So you're actually paying for quality, not a logo. So for me, it's their sunnies, it's their basics like tanks. I've had their duvet since I moved into this home. My designer recommended them and the rest is history because it's affordable, quality, clean. I'm a Quince fan for life kind of vibe. So beyond the apparel, Quince brings the same everyday elevation to hotel quality bedding and bath, kitchen staples, travel essentials, and furniture that's actually thoughtfully designed. It's not just about looking good, it's about living well. Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Lauren. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns now available in Canada and the UK too. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/Lauren, LOREN. When we look back at Natalie Harp's education, the timeline starts to connect. So she earned her degree, her MBA from Liberty University. This is an institution founded by Jerry Falwell Sr., who spent a lot of decades arguing Christians should organize politically and use their influence to shape American public life. They wanted to do a grift world takeover, okay? Jerry Falwell. Let's talk a little bit more about Jerry Falwell. So he built this university in 1971. Fundamentalist Baptist preacher who became one of the most influential figures in the rise of modern religious right. Yikes. He believed Christianity should have a major role in American public life, and he tried to build his influence through Thomas Road Baptist Church, his television ministry, before moving aggressively into politics. So the traditional mega church to televangelist model. Yikes. Say less. Okay. Then I'm going to show you some videos in just a second. In 1979, he became the public face of the moral majority. But first, let's take a look at who he is. Let's take a look at Jerry Falwell Jr. first, and then we're going to show you how the racist apple doesn't fall far from the racist tree.
I've always thought if more good people had concealed carry permits, then we could end those Muslims before they walk in and kill us.
First of all, he sounds wasted. This was from December 5th, 2015. And the caption is, Trump cultist Jerry Falwell Jr. told 10,000 students at a weekly convocation held at Liberty University that I've always thought if more good people had concealed carry permits, then we could end those Muslims before they walked in. Then he allegedly whips it out. Okay. And like I said before, the racist, xenophobic apple doesn't fall far from the racist, xenophobic, white supremacist tree.
The ACLU's got to take a lot of blame for this.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'll hear from them for this, but throwing God, or successfully with the help of the federal court system, throwing God out of the public square, out of the schools. The abortionists have got to bear some burden for this, because God will not be mocked, and when we destroy 40 million little innocent babies, we make God mad. I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who tried to secularize America, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen.
Well, I'm glad he's dead. What do feminists who want equality of all genders have anything to do with what the fuck he's rambling about? Okay, so he said that after 9/11, he went on TV and blamed groups he associated with America's morale decline. So he went on to say gay people, feminists, abortion providers, the ACLU. He later had to walk it back and apologize for his comments. Love that. Again, so glad he's dead. And it took a fairly unusual train of thought to watch him go from terrorist attack unfolds and then let's blame feminists and people who need abortion care. But he managed to do it. And the moral majority became a major force in the Ronald Reagan election in 1980. He helped cement the relationship between the Republican Party and the white evangelical voters that still grift their little hearts out today. Falwell had also really spent a lot of time telling conservative Christians they needed to get involved. Are we seeing like a little Erica Kirky pattern going on here? Charlie Kirky pattern? It's not just about the tax breaks, although it's very much about the tax breaks. That's why we need to tax the church. He really wanted Liberty University to become a part of the political project so he could have more power. Falwell had a history that went, I'm reading about him, beyond ordinary Republican politics. In 1958, he preached against Supreme Court's Brown versus Board of Education decision, which ruled racial segregation in public schools unconstitutional. What a guy. Falwell defended racial separation and used his religious beliefs to support that position. Y'all keep interpreting this dusty-ass Bible as something it doesn't really seem to be. Wasn't Jesus a refugee? Come on. Wasn't he brown? What the fuck is wrong with you all? So he later, Jer, rejected segregation, but sermons remained part of his documented history. That sermon in particular. They also loved Charlie Kirk. I'm going to pop this up on the screen. We are Charlie Kirk. So in their school newspaper, there's a long legacy on Charlie Kirk following his in 2025. And of course, Natalie Harp was there. And it is still a campus that has become a major destination for the worst Republicans ever. Ted Cruzin for a bruisin'. In March 2015, he announced his presidential campaign at Liberty University. Isn't Ted Cruz born in Canada? What a dick. So yeah, he announced his presidential campaign there despite being born in Canada. Harp earned her MBA that exact year. So she was finishing her degree while the campus was being used as a national stage for Ted Cruzin for a bruisin'. Falwell Jr. was running Liberty at the time. He was Donald Trump's earliest and most visible evangelical supporter. So we have him to blame for the kind of Charlie Kirk, evangelical, Erica Kirk pipeline. And it says that his endorsement helped Trump with voters who were trying to reconcile conservative Christianity with a thrice married reality television star who has built a public reputation that would normally get somebody removed from a church picnic. Natalie Harp spoke about what liberty meant to her and how it, gave her a much better picture of how she saw her life. And in 2019, in a profile piece published by Liberty University, Harp used her classes and said that they challenged her worldview and helped her develop as a Christ-centered woman in the workplace. She also described Liberty's larger philosophy and said the school viewed every field of knowledge as a potential mission field. Yikes. So, like, why can't you guys just do your own thing? Why do you got to make it everyone else's problem too? Harp specifically included politics in that idea. Natalie Harp had cancer, and through the Right to Try Act, she was able to access care, life-saving care. Doesn't give a fuck about all the other people that were stripping healthcare away and leaving to die, as long as she got through the door. So this gives us a really direct explanation of what she valued about her education and what she brought into her future life and how we got to where we are now. I'm going to keep digging in here because there's a lot more around Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk, and these evangelical grift, especially with the latest videos coming out of Erica Kirk. So we've got a really interesting video that shows Erica Kirk has gone full pastor, preacher, sermoner mode from the latest Pastor Summit. Not a lot of people have seen this video yet. We're going to get into it next. So make sure you subscribe, turn those notifications on. We'll be back with more. Again, Lauren Pretra, Willa Pretra.